I still hear his scream at night. It wasn't the scream of a man afraid of death. It was the scream of a man who realized his own brother-in-arms had pushed him to it. The Man of Iron. Officer Akong was more than a leader. He was the type of man you followed without question. His chest looked like a shield, his voice like thunder, and when he walked, even the ground seemed to obey. Everyone respected him. Everyone except Lieutenant Bassi. At first, Bassi pretended to admire him, laughing at his jokes, standing close like a loyal brother. But we, the young recruits, saw the truth hiding in his eyes. Each time Akong received praise, Bassi's face tightened, his jaw locked. Akong once saved him during a drill when he nearly drowned. I thought that kind of rescue would bind two men forever. Instead, it planted something dark in Bassi's heart. The mission that wasn't. The night it happened was silent. The river delta stretched before us, black water swallowing the moonlight. Bassi told Akong about a smuggler's boat offshore. Only the two of them went out. I watched them paddle into the shadows until the night swallowed them whole. Hours passed. Nothing. Then, that scream, a sound that ripped through the air, raw and broken. We rushed to the shore, lanterns shaking in our hands. The boat came drifting back empty. Only Akong's cap floated beside it, soaked and heavy. Later, Bassi returned, clothes torn, face wet. He said pirates had attacked, that Akong fell into the water and never came back up. His voice cracked like a man in grief, but his eyes were dry. The knife in the ocean's secret. Weeks later, I found it, hidden behind a crate in the weapons room. A knife. Not just any knife, it was Akong's. Everyone knew it. His name was carved deep into the handle. The blade was stained, dark and silent. I carried it to the commander, heart pounding. He only stared, then whispered. Some truths drown better than men. That night, I dreamed of Akong, standing at the shore, chest dripping with water, finger pointing straight at me. Behind him, the waves whispered over and over again, betrayal. Since that day, I have never trusted another officer. Because the ocean may hide bodies, but it never hides secrets forever. The scream expanded. The night was heavy, the kind of darkness that presses on your chest and makes it hard to breathe. The river stretched before us like an endless shadow, swallowing the moonlight. We waited on the shore. Time crawled. Minutes felt like hours. The only sound was the water licking against the wood of the dock. Even the crickets had gone quiet. I kept my eyes on the horizon, searching for their canoe. My gut twisted tighter with every passing moment. Then, without warning, came a scream. It tore through the silence like a blade through cloth. Raw, piercing, woman's. I froze where I stood. My lantern shook in my hand, throwing wild shapes on the trees. It wasn't a normal cry for help. It wasn't fear. It was painful. It was betrayal. The sound echoed across the water, bouncing off the mangroves, circling us, until it felt like the night itself was screaming. We all ran to the edge of the riverbank. My boots sank into the wet mud, but I didn't care. My heart pounded like war drums in my ears. Then the scream cut off. Silence again, but not the same silence as before. This one was heavier, like the river was holding its breath. And then movement. Out of the dark, a canoe drifted slowly toward us. Empty. The water slapped against its sides, steady, mocking. Floating beside, it was Akong's cap, wet, heavy, and shining with moonlight. We pulled the canoe in. It was scratched, one paddle missing. No blood, no sign of a fight, just emptiness. The men around me whispered, their voices low and broken. Some said pirates. Some said the river had taken him. But deep in my chest, I knew what I had heard. That scream wasn't the ocean's doing. It was the sound of a man betrayed. The survivor returns, expanded. We were still gathered by the shore when he appeared. Lieutenant Bassi. At first, I thought my eyes were tricking me. Out of the trees, he stumbled, his steps uneven, his clothes torn and soaked. His face was pale, hair plastered to his forehead. He looked like a man who had wrestled with the river itself. The others rushed to him. I hung back, the lantern raised. My chest tightened as I studied him. Pirates, he gasped, his voice broken, shaking. They came from nowhere. We fought. A comb. His words trailed off, his shoulders trembling. The men surrounded him, some patting his back, some cursing the unseen pirates. But I couldn't look away from his eyes. They were dry, too dry. A man who watched his brother drown doesn't return without red eyes. His face carried sorrow, yes, but not the kind that comes from a heart. His story spilled out in pieces. How they were ambushed, how the boat tipped, how the cone fell into the water, and how he tried to pull him up, but the river swallowed him whole. He clenched his fists when he spoke. He bit his lip. He shook his head slowly, as though fighting back grief. It was a performance almost too perfect. But I remember the scream. The scream that was not fear. The scream that was betrayal. And as Bassi lowered his head, I noticed something else. His hand, the same hand clutching the lantern the commander had given him, trembled slightly. Not from fear, not from grief, from guilt. That night, no one accused him. No one dared. A cone was gone. The river had swallowed its truth, and we were soldiers bound by silence. But I swore I saw the corner of Bassi's mouth twitch, just for a second, as if he was hiding something behind the mask of sorrow. And in that moment, I knew. The river had not taken a cone. Bassi had. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more story like this.